This is my game dev progress so far. This is my first game that I made in Unity. It's a top-down zombie survival game, like a wave-based game, as you can see. There's a lot of bugs and glitches I didn't fix, and that's just how game development goes as far as my experience goes. I made it, whee! A lot of crazy shit happens. And then I added shadows and lights and stuff. The cop car doesn't want to flash perfectly right in the beginning. I don't know why that was happening. Probably could fix it now though if I went back. But yeah, it's a fun game. This is my first full game I ever made in Unity. I watched one tutorial and then I made this. So you can do it. You just gotta take it one step at a time. That's how you eat an elephant, is one bite at a time. So health would spawn around the map and you go collect health and ammo. Made a building. I just made there's a bunch of hit boxes on the walls, so that took forever and probably wasn't the best way of doing it. But when you're a beginner, or even not a beginner, you don't always get to do it the best way. You just gotta make things work. And here's there's only one sound in the game, is the gunshot. And here's the pretty much max capacity zombies. Once you start surviving this long and whatever, and it got to a point where my computer couldn't even run it. And then here I started following a tutorial made by Sebastian League. He's awesome. If you guys haven't seen him online, I don't know where you've been. He makes a lot of good videos. And I did the rollerball tutorial, and just this was pretty simple and easy. All this is programmed in C# language, by the way, if you don't know. This is all Unity. Later on in this video, you'll see when I made the switch to Unreal Engine. I made the switch, well, that's probably a whole other video, but basically because I just like it better. For a multitude of reasons. That's another video. If you want that video, let me know. Pretty fun game right there. Then I wanted to make a multiplayer game, so I made Pong. This is actually done with just one white cube, and there's a video on it online. And I think it was about 6 minutes long, and it's like how to make a Pong in 5 minutes or something like that. Definitely took me a lot longer than 5 minutes to figure it all out, but it was worth it. Learning experience. Now I started making a infinite scroller top-down airplane game. As you can see here, just started off like that, and then I figured out how to make the other. I was going to make aliens fighting aliens, and I was going to change the airplane and make it into a spaceship, but I ended up just changing the aliens later on and making them into airplanes. But you can see it was perfectly programmed, no glitches. There's my airplanes. Now I believe I made it where you can go off the edge of the screen and appear on the other side, kind of like Pac-Man or something similar to that. And then I made infinite scrolling islands just to give a little bit of a background. And I was just trying to make a bunch of small games to learn, and I made to learn, just a bunch of small games just to learn, I guess. And the airplanes can shoot and stuff. And then I made the camera zoom out a little bit, have a little more room. Thought it'd be a little cooler. I still think it was a pretty cool game. I like the way that I programmed the airplane. Then I started working with first person, because one of my dream games is to make a first person shooter. And so, this is a tutorial from Brackeys, I believe. Rest in peace, Brackeys. We miss you. The game dev community misses you. But it was cool walking up the angled slopes. Oh yeah, here's some code, since I haven't showed you any of the code. I believe this is the code for what we were just looking at. I added a gun. That's another Brackeys tutorial. I just put it into this game file I had. And then I started making some car stuff. Followed a tutorial to learn how to do this, and honestly didn't understand much of it, but that's how it goes sometimes. Now I switched the model, made it look a bit better. Got the Charger or Challenger or Mustang, whatever kind of car that is. Then I started making a platformer. And this is how platformers usually start, at least in Unity. You can start with a cube, get them moving around, jumping around. Then I added a background, made the camera be able to follow the character. I didn't lock in place his movement so he can do these cool little flips and stuff. I just thought that was fun. Then I wanted to learn about animation, so found this guy online and started animating him, and he animates perfectly. Yep, just perfectly. But yeah, very cool Viking. Whoever drew him, it's pretty badass. Eventually that turned into this, where you can go and have a bunch of traps to dodge, and it's actually pretty hard. I don't know if you guys seen that platform that was just floating in the bottom. I tried to make it where you could stand on floating platforms. That never worked. You can bounce off that mushroom. Brings you to the next level. I made a total of 3 levels for this game, but I don't think I have the video of the 3rd level because it was incomplete anyway. And there's a ability right there I just collected, which makes your gravity lower, so now you can jump up and get this key. Also the collision with the walls and how you can stick with them. Kind of weird, but it sort of became a feature. Now I got that key. That should remove the pillar that was at the end of the level. Now you just gotta jump on the mushroom, and since you have low gravity, you get shot way up into space here, and then you just pray that you hit the portal. So let's see if I hit the portal. I do. Went to the next level. Then I started making a game where you could collect these little white guys and just get bigger exponentially. And I wanted to make it where they would collect each other and they would get bigger, and then you had to avoid creatures that are bigger than you and collect ones that are smaller. But this is about as far as I got on that. Then I started messing with airplanes because I was thinking about making a airplane shooter game, like a combat game. Multiplayer, because that's been a big goal of mine, is making multiplayer games. But I found out airplane stuff is pretty fucking hard. I don't understand the physics enough, and that's something I will have to come back to one of these days. I had some camera issues, just tried to fix the camera, and had some troubles. As you can see, a lot of jitter. And then I tried making it where you can control the camera with your mouse, and it just didn't work right, didn't look right. It was fun, it was worth doing. It's something I'll come back to one day. Oh, and then I added some terrain. The terrain looks good. And I still really appreciate Unity and like Unity, and if I ever make any 2D things, I may use Unity instead of Unreal, but we'll see, as the future is a mystery. We'll see. Then I was working on multiplayer. I got it working where I could use my controller or I could use my mouse, and that was a tutorial I followed, but never really got any further with it. Multiplayer's hard, something I'll come back to. Then I started making an infinite scrolling car game. This is how it all started, and as you'll see, it progressed quite a bit from here. And I got where these cars are kind of coming on some sort of road, but the movement is not very good. And then I made it where you could switch lanes. The movement is very slow. The way I did it was probably not a very good way of doing it at all. I can hardly remember how I did it. It's been so long now. But eventually I added assets in there, got some cars actually coming, and I made your character car be able to tilt a little bit when it moves around. And I add some terrain. And there's always this little like cut between the terrains and stuff. I painted on the road, made some menus. Basically a full functioning game. Then I tried to add grass and trees and stuff, and the LOD was set too low at this point or something like that, and it just wasn't doing what I wanted. Then here it's looking pretty nice. Switched car models obviously, but I was going to make it where you could unlock different cars and switch to different cars and stuff, and you just collect the gas and hope you don't run out of gas. It's kind of like a game from Game Maker, if any of you remember. I think it was Game Maker 5 or Game Maker 7. Can't remember. It's been a long time. I just switched cars. That was me kind of working on the switching cars. Then I thought about making a top-down Halo, because Halo is one of my favorite games. That lasted for about, I don't know, half hour, and I was like, nope, screw that. And then here I am in Unreal Engine 4. Great sniper. Definitely not too much bullet spread on that. I fixed that later on though. Made it where you could get multiple guns. I learned about this by following a course. I made it probably 70% through the course on Unity. It was a good course. It really helped me get the ropes down with Unreal Engine. But you know, it wasn't the greatest course for a non-programmer. He didn't explain things and stuff as well as I would have liked. Knowing a little bit of Unity and some Unreal Engine stuff that I've done in the past made it a bit easier, and the fact that I know a bit of programming made it easier. But yeah, if you were just coming into this course with not knowing anything, I think it'd be pretty difficult. I'm just showcasing all the different weapons now and the little different features that, you know, I learned through a game. And you know, this is a it was a good learning thing. Like, I learned a lot from it, and it really helped out. And since then I haven't really watched the course, and I've just been making my own things, as you'll see soon here. Oh yeah, I fixed the recoil. But yeah, this was cool. I was pretty happy with this. Never got to the UI, or the AI I should say. Then after that I wanted to make something on my own, so I made it where you can crouch, You can obviously walk around, jump. You can jump one time. That white cube over there gives you a double jump ability. So now you can double jump. And then those are just death cubes, which just hurt your health. It's because I just wanted to learn how to do that. And then it just restarts when you die. Then I followed a tutorial on YouTube trying to figure out procedural generation, and then I made this from scratch after watching that video and did it my own way. And this is just showing the randomized cubes basically. And then this is, I started designing the buildings inside of Unreal Engine. This is the blueprints that I did for that. This is basically my random generation blueprint. And yeah, so those are spawning the different tiles, whether it's just a grass tile or it's a tile with a building on it. And so eventually it turned into this. Just random buildings, some trees, and they also are randomly set to a random direction. So then I added roads, and after here, this is pretty much it, because I was like, how can I make the roads better and be more like real roads? But the way the system was designed wasn't really set up for that. Then I tried my hand at some 2D art. Back to programming. So this is kind of the game I'm currently working on. I made a first-person camera, gun, made these creepy-ass soldiers chase you around in a T-pose. If that's not horrifying, I don't know what is. But it progressed, and he eventually became a zombie. But even when you shoot them, they didn't chase you. They only chase you when they saw you. Still not animating. So I had to learn some about that. Eventually I made a map with some BSP brushes. And I believe I got the animations working somewhat. Made stairs that were way too big to walk up. Yeah, see, it does animate, and then he'll probably just disappear when I kill him, I think. Yep, he just disappears. I made it night and added ragdoll physics. It's not the perfect ragdoll physics. In fact, the game still has the same ragdoll physics. And that's just something I need to learn more about. Added a flashlight. It's just a point light that's added onto the gun. It's nothing special. It's just a placeholder. And then this room is kind of based on Scarface's mansion, except it's not like a fountain right there. It's just a fireplace. And you just come in here. There's a couple more zombies in here. And I'm still working on this game, and that'll probably be in my next video, but this is pretty much it. So like and subscribe, please, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.